A very good evening, everyone. We are back on day 6 of Becoming You, PosiFest 2026 with Vanita Keswani. Vanita is a soul teacher and a healer based in Mumbai, India, dedicated to helping individuals transition from mechanical survival into deeply empowered, soul led lives. As a soul teacher, she guides people to unlock the infinite power of the soul in their everyday lives. As a soul teacher, she uses a variety of Tao healing modalities like Tao hands, Tao song, Tao calligraphy for holistic healing that spans all aspects of life, physical health, emotional balance, mental clarity, relationships, and financial abundance. She has learned deep wisdom of five elements from her Chinese grandmaster, Dr. and Master Shah, as per traditional Chinese medicine, some of which she is going to share with us today.
Mhm. Thank you.
A very warm welcome, Vanita.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. Thank you, Jane, Ashu, and all who will be watching the recording. So let's straight away go to the presentation. Okay, so today, it's all about relationships. So it's a relational alchemy, as I've called it. Understanding the five elements to really transform any friction that we have in our relationships inside us and outside. And when I say inside us, that brings me to the soul, heart, mind, body alignment. When our soul, heart, mind, and body is not aligned, our relationship with our organs, our body, our mind is misaligned. So that's something that I take separately. I will not cover it today. Today it's about external relationships, but if we have time, we'll take questions and have some discussion around the soul, heart, mind, body alignment as well. So about friction in relationships, it's all about how first it all depends on what we are having within us as five elements. How your relation is with yourself shapes every connection outside. So these are just examples, and the way to see this is as we are in, we are without. So the external illusion, for example, we often believe a relationship friction comes from the other's bad habits, others' moods, others' lack of care. And we focus on trying to change them or their reactions, hoping that peace will follow once they fix themselves. So, we say, okay, you partner hai, friend hai, anybody it could be. If they didn't get stressed so easily, our life would be fine or calm. But actually, the elemental mirror is about every element exists inside you first. So our outer reactions are reflections of our internal state. And you cannot give grounded trust, emotional flow, or space to another if that element is depleted in you. So the core workshop principle today is that how I treat my own mind and body and feeling sets the limit for how I treat others. So going forward, five elements inside us means what? This is basics. This is nothing to do with yet any form, any philosophical Ayurveda or TCM yet. This is just very simple understanding of what the five elements could mean inside us. So for Earth, it is about inner body and stability. How much we feel safe in our own skin and healthy bodies. How much do we take rest? How much do we drink water, nourish ourselves with food? How much do we sleep well? All of that is about grounding. We say earth is grounding. So stability is earth. Water is about flowing. So what flowing? Emotional flowing. Water is about self-compassion. So allowing your feelings without shame to come up, and also forgiving yourself first, because we are very harsh on ourselves. So we don't forgive ourselves often. So water is the inner emotional flow. What is the fire? When I took the fire session, we did discuss how much fire is important for the inner will and drive. It is the inner passion, the inner fire that we spoke about, right? And we spoke about how self-worth is such an important part of it, and having the passion to really do something, purposeful life comes from inner will, inner drive. So that's fire. It has the power to transform anger to clarity, because fire in a negative way is anger. Air is about inner mind and thoughts. How do you really talk to yourself in your head? How much of mental flexibility do you have? And air is about breath. So air is about breath awareness. So lastly, space is about inner consciousness. How much of space do you give yourselves within your body and around your body? So that internal quiet, you say that I want this 10 minutes this is my me time. That is your space. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah. So till here, if there's any questions or anything you want to share as a comment, please, you can post in the chat or just speak up. This is something most basic. When we go through relationships, we'll apply what these 5 elements mean. And hence, obviously, this will affect our relationships. Because if we have not got our me time, if we have not feeling the space and inner consciousness well, then we will portray that externally. If you're not nourished well, we will portray that externally, correct? If somebody is so hungry, what is the first thing he will want to do is just have food, right? So it is so important to understand what each element means and how it is inside us. Yeah. So let's start with earth. Self-grounding and safety. So earth is your ability to anchor yourself, like I said, through regular sleep, nutrition, and honoring your physical limits. And when you're depleted in yourself, you do feel anxious, insecure, and of course, very physically exhausted. What is a live day-to-day example? When you skip meals and you ignore your exhaustion, a minor delay by your partner, your child, your employee can trigger a very anxious outburst because your body is lacking that physical grounding. So the self-reflection question now is that, am I demanding stability from my person? It could be anybody outside of me, because I refuse to give physical rest to myself. Is my physical rest coming in the way of my relationships? That's a question you need to ask yourself. This is so common among especially women who do a lot of multitasking. And so, if you all feel, all of us are women here today. So how do you feel about this, that when I'm tired, how do I react versus when I'm like fully nourished? Ask yourself that. When you're not nourished, how do you feel? And when you're nourished, how do you feel? Yeah. So important, especially suppose you're sick, you have fever, how do you feel? Yeah, that's earth. Okay. So if that was what was the live example of in day-to-day how we feel within ourselves, what is the reflection prompt again? That in moments of stress, do I become an anchor or a reactive storm? Because it's a relation. The first slide on every element I'll cover is what is inside you. The second slide I will cover is asking yourself how that affects your relationships. So if you are very stressed, if you're tired, if you're not grounded, if you're not nourished, are you still somebody whom a person outside of you, your relationship, any relationship with anybody, can still feel that you will not react negatively? They have that, they have that stability with you, dependability with you. Are you that kind of a boss, for example, in whether you're now in corporate or not, at any time if you've worked or in your family? There is this thing in the family, like usually it's with the father because they have more anger. Men usually have more anger, but it's not, it's just a stereotype. So it's not like something I'm judging. I'm just saying that usually I've noticed that people are scared, abhi papa gussa karenge, abhi unka mood theek nahi hai. In Hindi, I just said that the father will react very negatively because his mood is not good. Similarly, the boss or a mother or a child only, a child suppose has lost in a game, and they wanted to win and they come home, and then that time, what is that emotional thing that is there in his element, and how are you balancing it for him, and how is that him or her child reacting? That's the first point. Very, very important. Okay, next we'll go to the next element. Water. That's my favorite, because I think water in our teachings on traditional Chinese medicine and all over I think anybody would agree that water flows so beautifully across any object. It doesn't have any discrimination. So it's our ability to feel what we feel, right? And allow yourself to feel what is inside, and then I'll cover outside. So this is inside. Do you have compassion for yourself? What do you mean by that? If you feel sad, are you allowing yourself, or are you suppressing your tears? Are you holding grudges against yourself? So asking yourself now that, okay, if you attack yourself every time you make a mistake, you will naturally be cold and unforgiving when your family members make mistakes. It reflects outside. If you are not forgiving to yourself, how will you forgive others? So that is the first thing about self-compassion. And then outside, is it safe then for my partner, my father, my child to show their tears or their vulnerability around me? So water is about softening the hardened stance and fostering deep empathy, emotional intimacy, and healing the tears or suffering or anything that a person is feeling. So water is about emotional flow. Yeah. What is fire about? Fire is, we spoke about passion, right? It's also about healthy self-expression. It's about clearing boundaries. It's about life direction. Yeah. So if you say yes, people pleasing all day, right? We all have this, okay, he'll feel bad, so I'll say this. But you don't feel what you're speaking. Then you're secretly doing something where this is where soul, heart, mind, body alignment comes. Your soul and heart is somewhere else, your mind is somewhere else, but you're saying something else. It will not work. You will get so badly influenced in your daily life, your elemental balance will go for a toss. The suppression of inner fire explodes with any relationship thereafter. So when you're out of balance inside yourself with fire, which is really what you want to do, fire is about what you want to do, self-expression. How do you go about it? So your self-reflection is, am I failing to set a healthy boundary for myself? Right? So that's your inner fire. Let's see how this affects your outer. Yeah. Outer means like, are you becoming that warmth in the relationship, or are you burning everything? Remember we said in the fire session, there's a good fire and a bad fire. Warmth is good fire, but burning is bad fire in that sense, right? So it ignites. The good part is igniting good warmth, good humor, playfulness, anything nice that feels nice to the other person is the positive fire. And the excess goes when it's excess element of a fire element, then you do sharp criticism, you get angry, you want to win everywhere, right? So when there is very less fire also, because you need to have a balance, either a excess happens or deficit, it won't work. So when there's excess, you have anger. When there is less, then you have boredom. You don't have an inspiration, because the right fire will have very decisive action. You will always feel like doing something. You're motivated. But if you have deficit in this fire element, then you will have apathy, you'll have boredom, you'll have, what is roommate syndrome? So, you just take relationships for granted, and you're not motivated any longer. It happens so much in family. So I really would like to speak a little. We all should share about what we feel about this, the syndrome about how we take relations for granted. Yeah. Okay. Air. So air is that dialogue in your mind and your breathing pattern. It's the mind. So air is about what you do inside of yourself. What are you carrying inside yourself? So if we don't have clean air, if we don't breathe well, then we are not responding to something outside. We are only responding to our own turbulence inside. Yeah. We overthink so much. This is all to do with mental anxiety, because breath and air is connected, and we know shallow breathing is anxiety. Yeah. Breathing pattern inside you has to be correct. If you do shallow breathing, you become anxious. So we ask ourselves, am I really responding to what my partner said, or my relationship to any person actually said to me, or to the turbulent story in my own head? What am I connecting with? Yeah. So having said what is inside, now how does the deficit and excess handle? When you have deficit in the air element, you have a unspoken tension. You don't grow. You feel like you're silent, but you're not expressing in a fiery way, but in silently you're going through a lot. This is where mental fog happens, brain fog. Overthinking is so common today, in Gen Z also, especially. Overthinking is something so common today. That happens because of excess air, excess element of air, right? So we have to learn to take some deep breaths, some very, very, very important. And also, air is about communication and clarity. So ask yourself, am I suppressing myself, right? Like we said, emotion suppression. If there is one unspoken truth, what is that I can express with gentleness? Okay. Next is space. Space is this, again, stillness. It's air and space. Air is a different form of, breath work, and space is about just silence. Yeah, just having that quietness and not being all the time doing something or the other. To be able to sit quietly with yourself. A lot of people just don't like to sit by themselves. They're so occupied with doing things that they confuse the word being alone with loneliness. Yeah, I hope all of you are agreeing that there's such a marked difference between these two words, right? Alone and loneliness. I actually did a reel like that. Alone but not lonely. I titled it like that. And I showed myself going something alone. You don't have to feel lonely when you're alone, right? So this is about being okay with inner stillness. And how does this excess and deficit work? If there is a deficit, you really want to control, you want to micromanage, because you are so, so distant, disconnected, that you just don't feel that this other person can do something. You just don't want to give the other person space, right? Because you have deficit in yourself, you will expect that deficit to be in others, and you will control. That's why you have some bosses that are micromanagers. You have some parents that are micromanagers, that want everything to be told to the child. That is deficit of space, right? So can you allow the person to be exactly who they are, whoever that relationship is with? So
We
give
have
room
Ashu
to,
who wants to say something.
yeah, please.
Yeah, Vanita, I like your being lonely and loneliness, the differentiation. It was something I have to ponder upon. Can you throw a little more light on being alone and lonely? Uh, just
Yeah,
brief it a bit because you just put it in that way. I felt this is something to think about.
yeah, it is
Can
something to
you
think
throw
about.
more light on that, please?
Yes, I will. I will. Thank you so much. So, alone, again, as a soul teacher, I feel alone is just physically being alone, right? But if you're physically alone, do you need to feel lonely? Do you need to feel that I don't have anyone? That is loneliness. Being alone is just physical alone. That's okay. You go, so many people go alone to a movie. That's what I said. I do things alone and I post saying alone, but not lonely. I'm not worried about that. I'm confident. I'm happy within myself. I don't have to search for external happiness or external validation to feel that, oh, I'm all by. So Jane, I mean, this is for you, because when you say you lost your husband and you have grief, etc., this is for you to understand. You're not lonely. And of course, this is a very first level thing I'm saying. How to do it is what I help people with. Some people can't do it. Just by saying it is easy, but some people can't. They have a problem. So I help them with that. And most importantly, if you understand, I live all by myself. Okay. And people say, oh, again, lonely to dur ki baat hai. I mean, I can't even touch the L of loneliness. I don't feel lonely. But being alone also, I don't feel now, because I'm surrounded with so many spiritual fathers and mothers at the soul level. I feel like I'm always in divine presence in my house, because I have so many calligraphies. Each calligraphy has a heavens committee. So that is a higher level of spiritual understanding also, that even alone, you don't feel that is just,
And in the crowd also you feel lonely, right? When you are surrounded by so many people,
yes,
but
yes.
the loneliness you
There are
feel.
two sides,
Yeah.
like you're saying. One is
Yes.
alone, not lonely, and one is in a crowd, but still lonely. They are
Yes.
both there. They're both there. So alone and lonely is more commonly, what do I say? Being in a crowd and lonely has been spoken a lot. Like you see that a lot of times, right? But alone and not lonely is not as often spoken as being in a crowd and feeling lonely. Being in a crowd and lonely again is the same symptoms of alone and not lonely. It's the same symptoms because being in a crowd and lonely means that you're disconnected with everyone, right? And you are not feeling happy within yourself. That's why, right? Because if you're happy within yourself, nothing should bother you. Either being alone or being in a crowd shouldn't bother you.
But when
That's
you
that's how.
start, you change your vibration when you vibrate higher also. Sometimes in that crowd you feel lonely, right? In some X crowd, you will not be able to merge there and the whole.
So, Ashu, this requires a little bit of deeper soul teachings, but since you're asking, I'm answering you in short. I don't fall in place in any social gathering today. Okay. But that doesn't mean I feel lonely. If I go for a friend's function, if I go for any place, I'm inside me doing something else at the soul level and the heart level. I may not be 100% there and I may be multitasking, which means that if they are speaking, gossiping is so common, right? I will not gossip. I'll be quiet. Correct. So externally, I'm not doing what they're doing because I'm not aligned with that. Why am I there first? For obviously, first is that you don't go only. That's the best. But sometimes you have to do things for family, for loved ones, for feeling good about something. So that's service. Our teacher tells us that that's a form of service. If you love someone, if you really have a good friend, and they call you for a marriage, for example, right? And you are like, you know that you don't have much to do there. You'll just go there for 5 minutes and come back. Or if she's a close friend and you want your presence, she wants your presence there. Your presence there. Will you go there and serve? That's called service because you're serving the other soul, that you're just making her heart happy. You remember? Service is making HHE, which I said, happier, healthier. So when you feel that you're doing something in a relationship for someone else, you feel happy from inside automatically. Then you don't need that merging of wanting what they're doing matters to you. Nothing. You're just there for giving them happiness, but you're happy from within. Yeah.
Thank you, Vanita. That was good insight.
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I was also thinking I'm just going on and on speaking.
Oh, it's good
Yeah.
to.
It's always good to break with some fun
Yes.
discussion. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the space aspect. So there is a basic kind of a table which is there for deficit and imbalance and excess and deficit again. So these are some examples. So let's go through this. And again, I would love that each one of us can bring up a real life example. This has one, but you could tell another one. So when you're, like I said, the earth deficit, we are all women. So we know this internal exhaustion, it brings irritability mostly and demands for perfection also. Some people say, okay, just because I'm tired doesn't mean ki pura ghar, you're not taking the care of the house, somebody, your child, right? Child just, or a pet for that matter, right? So what do you feel about that? Outer projection, because you snap at somebody because dinner is not ready on time. Do you have any such examples like that for your pets, with your children, with your loved ones? Anyone wants to speak of any example of that?
I've seen people snapping in my family when something is wrong at work, then the whole snapping at the dinner.
Yeah.
Come
It
after
just
the dinner is
pours
not
out, right?
prepared.
Absolutely.
Very normal thing.
Very normal, yeah. So yeah. So when we understand this, and this is happening because of an error, I'll coming to that the way we should deal with it. But we should just see this as an earth deficit rather than when we say with common knowledge and just by sheer experience, we learn, right? We learn that this is not because of the true nature of the person. It's just that they are having a current moment of, because of that exhaustion. So yeah, so the other one is water deficit,
Yeah,
which is
Jane
like,
also wants to say, yeah, sorry.
yeah, I can't see, sorry, I'll just take out my shop. Yes, Jane.
Oh, yes, I was just going to say, living with two small children in the household, as a grandparent, and I drive them to school. My son and daughter-in-law both work, so I drive them to school and pick them up. So quite often we're all snapping at each other in the morning because I'm trying to get them out the door and be organized whilst they're doing other things. And sometimes I think they're 5 minutes late. What difference does it make at times?
Absolutely.
Except, except that my grandson goes to is at a Japanese school, and they are so on about
Time.
time. And yes, if you're meant to be there at 8:25, you're not there at 8:26 in their view. They're very much on time people. So I'm often trying to get him moving.
Nice example. And Jane, you brought this up about this 1 minute, 2 minute. We also, another community of mine also where I do some coaching, we are taught that if you treat anything in your life like that, like, 2 minutes is okay. The way we try to maybe judge someone, oh my God, it's only 2 minutes late. I'm only 5 minutes late. Why is this person thinking? That just means your casualness in life. That just means how less you are a perfectionist. It is just one area of your life, how you deal with it reflects every area of your life, as that's the learning. It's not that it's only this life. You feel it's only time, but actually it's not only time. So that person who's very particular about time will always be particular about many more things in life, you notice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I get that. And I don't like being late. I like being on time.
Yes, absolutely. So we are taught always be like she writes, she's there 15 minutes before. So it's basic courtesy. If you want to attend something, be before time so that you're always there on time. Because otherwise everyone waits for 5 minutes to go by, 10 minutes to go by.
Yes,
So that's
yes,
another one. Yeah.
absolutely. So, but the Japanese are very particular about time. But yes, my grandchildren and I, it's probably our biggest discussion most mornings of the week. It's about, and I'm always saying, 3 minutes to go, gotta leave the house.
As long as you're saying it with such love, which you just said it, I don't think it's wrong.
Well, most mornings I am. It's only when they're still, doing things like staring at a television instead of cleaning the teeth.
Then you get a bit. So that's exactly the moment then, and that's when we also speak about talking to their souls on a every. What I do is I get people to connect to soul level. So we do regular practices for such things so that you don't have to externalize your conversations, which are difficult to do. So the very powerful practices on soul level that you can do.
That would be very useful.
Yeah, that'll be very, very helpful. Happy to take a call with you, just a one-on-one anytime you want to.
Okay.
Yeah. So water deficit we spoke about. So the third is about suppressed boundaries, which is about fire imbalance, which we spoke about. Now, this is again it's a small thing, like blowing up on a misplaced set of car keys, right? It's a very, very common example. So things like that, how much we get affected by these small, small things is about fire imbalance. And we can share more across. I'm going on and reading air and space, and then I'll stop sharing and we can see what else you're getting as examples. On air excess is about internal mind chatter, which is again such a common example, right? If someone's silent, they say they don't care about me. Oh my God, this is so common. I used to have such a big thing about my husband. He used to always have this as a personality. He used to always think that a person does not speak up or respond to him means there's something wrong with the relationship. And I used to say, do you even know what they may be going through? Their life is a different life. Like today, when we message people, how many of us do get a response always? Ask yourself that. We'll discuss this. And the space is about shutting down or walking away abruptly, which is what you do sometimes. You just get so suffocated that you just go away. So air excess is the one I think it'll be very nice to discuss about how we feel when someone does not talk to us back or does not respond on a message. There's so many. I think I saw some really heart-touching reels and content on social media itself. I think there was a LinkedIn one where somebody messaged about, how we make assumptions. So there was this boy who asked for a window seat. And this person wrote the LinkedIn message that he wrote. He said that I offered it to him because he asked for it. I gave him my window seat. But later he was told by the child's father that he was suffering from a very major illness. And there's something deeper. I don't remember the exact correlation of the window seat, but I think something that he wanted to see the clouds before something was very medically associated with that asking for the seat, which he did not speak to him at all about it. He just asked for the seat. Now imagine if he had not given the seat, then what the child would have felt. And so we have such daily instances so many times. We all expect everything to be spoken. But if we can be our kind and compassionate self, despite the dependence on the other person's reaction, that is what would be a good elemental balance, isn't it? You have to be kind and compassionate irrespective of the other person. If somebody else doesn't respond for 5 times, I still message them. I still tell them, okay, hi, da, 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 without even asking, oh, you did not. Sometimes I ask also, you did not, but that's only when you're closer to a person. Otherwise, you just keep messaging someday. And I remember I used to message like this during my Buddhism early days of spirituality about 20 years back. I used to message things to some friends. And one of the friends, after 7 years, one day after the message, she messaged me, Vanita, I'm now ready. You sent this message to me 7 years. And I now want to talk to you. And she joined our community. So what I mean to say is that our air or our mind should be clear. It should not be a reflection of the other person's mind being unclear. How do you feel about that, everyone?
Yeah, I was like this earlier. I would message someone and expect a response back instantly because I was so habitual of doing that in my work. Immediately message, and if someone will not message, I would, think so much about it, assume so much about it that I would build a big cloud of thoughts in my head, and then I later realized that everyone has their battles to fight. Everyone is busy in their own lives. They always, whenever I would message, I would get a response quick back. But as I was changing the whole thing, I mean, when my life was changing and my career was changing, I became more, impatient. Why someone is not responding? Because they could see that. Then slowly I realized I had to learn it. It wasn't easy because
Absolutely.
And I could relate with what you said. And 7 years, if your person did message you back, that means you have.
Because I have nothing to do with what it's just something to read. I'm just giving the person something to read, something to offer, like my workshops. I'll keep sending it to people. So many people didn't respond. I just sent it to people. I hardly got one response after sending it to people. And most of them may not even have seen it. It's a fact. People have no time these days. They will just glance through, they'll be like into 20 things, but out of them, there may be people who need it so much. So if you keep up and sending it, and if someone really doesn't want it, they will have, if that clarity mind exists, which unfortunately does not exist, they will reply saying, kindly keep me out of your list of whatever. Then it's fine. And no need to feel bad about it. Okay, thank you for telling me, and remove that person from your
Another instance, I was, when I was getting into the coaching journey, I met many people with different talents. And I was like always an entrepreneur, always wanted to get the best out of people because that's part of my, journey and my work. So I would say, okay, you have this talent, it's so invaluable. So we should do something. And I was chasing the lady because she had this talent of singing and playing a guitar, and so I said it's very rare to see young people doing that. That at that point of time. Nowadays, it's very common.
Very common, yeah.
But 2-3 years ago, when I was telling her that let's do something together, and that time she was. I was chasing her, but somehow it did not happen. She was having her own battles now, she told. She called me now this year and she's telling me, I want to do that performance with you.
Wow.
And she said, I was going through a separation. So it was a very challenging time for me. And now I'm totally free and I'm off another relationship also. She said, I went in another relationship, I'm out of that also.
Out of that
So now I really want to do something apart from what work I'm
So
doing. And now
nice.
she wants me to do an event, but I don't get the time. I'm not getting the time to, set it up and all. I have to do it. I know that. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
see
yeah.
next month because I have been asking her to do it. Maybe next month we'll plan something after the podcast.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
just
But yeah,
I wanted to
such
share.
a good example. Yeah, excellent example. And that's what, because we all go through different things and in different times when things have to happen, they'll happen. But let's keep a clear mind and clear heart. If we do the intention is good, there's no harm in all that. Yeah. Okay, so these were some examples of projection. And yeah, the evening homecoming is very common. Again, if there's a person who's working, the person comes home and the other person asks, Mama, can you do something for me? And the mom just goes, I mean, the exact example is not important. What I meant here was if you're coming home after a busy day, even if a child who's studied and coming home after a long day and the mother says something to the child, can you do this? The child could get very angry that I've just entered the house. How you know what I'm saying? So that this is a very common thing that happens. And then silence, like I said, right? If you get a silent treatment for 2 days, then what do? Right? So you can just avoid this thing about feeling bad about something. Yeah. So let's quickly do a self-diagnostic about our inner mirror. Have I nourished my body today? Ask yourself, am I holding harsh judgments of forgiveness towards my own flaws? Am I honoring my boundaries or am I letting resentment build up? Which means that if I'm not saying no to people and I just keep yes for pleasing people, then this resentment will build up, sorry. And air check is about, is my mind assuming things which we just discussed? Ki, isne to call nahi kiya, this person did not respond, etc. Or am I anchored in my own conscious breath or breathing, right? That's the air check. And the space check is, have I allowed myself any amount of stillness without the digital screens and other things that we do? I thought this was an excellent chart to just keep checking on our self 5-element quick check that how are we doing? Yeah. Okay. And what can we do? Some micro practices. Earth first, we can do very simple, some 2 minutes standing on grass, or if there's no a problem on finding grass nearby, just finding your feet firm on the floor and connecting with Mother Earth is grounding itself. Water, when washing hands, consciously say, I'm washing away self-criticism and judgment. Very simple. When you're taking a bath, you can say that. Mindful washing. Fire cleanse, write down any frustration, then burn it. We've seen this in a lot of, Bollywood has also shown it to us in a movie. It really works. And the air breath is just about breathing, to just box breathing, etc. This, I think, Devna had covered also in her session. And the space pause is about quiet setting, whether it's morning, night, daytime, you can see. But these are some simple micro practices for keeping harmony within ourselves and around us so that our relations don't suffer. Okay. So this was that part of it. Then I've just kind of said that, okay, so if we understand all of that, so now conventional view is about treating this as personal faults, all these problems. But once we know this is about 5 elements, we can say that we are all made up of 5 elements and we can just notice which element is missing in the room right now. And we can just give love and compassion to the person rather than just judge the person. That's number one. And the combination is very important, which I'll also cover through the Ayurveda way after this. There is some that work together the best, right? So fire and air, air is about talking. Earth is, when these happen together, then you add earth. You need pause. Water and earth, when it happens, too much of nurturing, safety, all that is happening. Then you have light humor, correct? When you break that thing. Like that, you can have a combination. And I think we'll have a few more minutes now. So I think this I'll move away. This I'll move away. Yeah, I want to take this part. I studied this particularly because We wanted it the Ayurveda space and all that way. So I wanted to understand. So this is about a nice thing that I learned. The 3 doshas in love and life. Ayurveda teaches us that harmony is not about finding an identical person to live with, whether it's a partner or any relation. When I say partner, it's a partner in any form. It's not partner in a romantic relationship, but cultivating elemental balance. So how do they say that? So let's go through this now. So in Ayurveda, there is 3 doshas: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata is space and air, Pitta is fire and water, and Kapha is water plus earth. We just need to memorize this. Space and air, fire and water and earth. So ask yourself which element is most active inside you, if at all you can get that. Otherwise, we'll just learn further in terms of how it works, right? So space and air is about, when you say shadow and gifts, this will be the common way each slide will be. Gifts will be the positive aspect and shadow will be the negative information or the excess or deficit. Okay. So when there's space and air as a gift, we are creative, we have enthusiasm, we have flexibility, and we communicate what we want to communicate. And the negative of it is anxiety when we have deficit, right? Inconsistency and overthinking. So what is the example? Spontaneous adventures versus changing plans repeatedly. Yeah. If you're very busy and you're just keeping planning, but you change it every time, instead of that, you say, okay, now I won't plan. If that's the case, I'll just spontaneously do something, but you'll do it rather than just saying, oh, I'm so busy, I keep changing my plans. It's just a very simple example. So are you bringing unsettled air into your relationships? That's the question. Any observations here about this? I love that example of changing plans because we all have that, right? We are so busy, and because of being busy, then we start even, we say, okay, nahi, ye to pata hi nahi kaha hai, I won't be there available, and we don't even do it then. Rather than that, if we can say, can we do this closer to the time? Like, if it's a weekend, can we just talk on Friday and see if we are free? Let's do it, so don't block yourself from doing things just because you're having this thing. Yeah. I'll go ahead. Okay. Okay, the building blocks of mind and body. For the second one, we just did, we did Vata, or did we do Vata? We did first what? Where did it go? Vata. So let's go to Pitta. Pitta is fire and water. So here, fire, as we know, we want passion and courage. And water is loyalty. And water is about solving everything, not worrying about anything. So the shadow aspect is when you want too much of something, when we are so particular, we want it, we get angry. We have perfectionism. We want control. Water doesn't control. So deficit of it becomes control. So the example is very simple about leadership in organizations, in families. Whoever is the leader, whoever is the boss, like the mother, the elderly person in the family, how calm are they versus how are they turning discussions into arguments? So the reflection here is your fire warming or burning relation, which we covered earlier also. I love this line. It's so beautiful. Is your fire warming or burning the relationship? Beautiful, isn't it? Pitta. Then there is Kapha. Kapha is about water and earth again. So water again to do with empathy, patience, and earth is about stability. So a mixture of a combination of water and earth is about loyalty, patience, empathy, and stability. And when you don't have it, then it's about stagnation, stubbornness, possessiveness. Yeah. So emotional example is how safe you feel with a person, or how much you feel that person is holding resentment, or you feel you're holding resentment. So are you grounding a relationship, or are you weighing down the relationship? That's water and earth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is the most important slide in Ayurveda thing. It's a very interesting thing. We all say like increases like. So if we have Pitta and Pitta, there'll be more passion and more conflict. We have Vata, there'll be more fun and instability. Kapha will be more comfort and stagnation. So what should be done? These are the finding harmony through opposite. In marriages, they say that like you complement each other. So this I found very interesting, that air needs earth, fire needs water, and complementary qualities can help restore balance. I think that's all for today. Daily practices are pausing, avoiding conflict, creating shared rituals, and practicing daily forgiveness. Yeah, we have a sharing time, and forgiveness is very important. So we can do a forgiveness practice if we want to, or any other conversations first. Yeah.
It was an amazing share where, even we understood like how the kappa and pitta and the, combinations of elements can help impact our relationships with somebody. So yeah, thank you.
That's because of Sakshi. I read up of Ayurveda also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
in
thank you. I found it really fascinating. You have me thinking about all sorts of things.
yeah, a lot of reflection time these days have been every day some reflections. Yeah. So you all
Yes,
want to do a forgiveness practice?
Yep.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
A soul forgiveness practice. Try to not lean down, Jane. Try to see if you can sit up straight
I'm in
against.
my room because
Yeah.
I have to hide in my
That's
bedroom
okay. That's
to.
okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just don't lean back. It'll benefit you better if you can. If your
Okay,
head you to. So
that's
left
fine.
hand on the navel, right hand. That's perfect. Left hand on the navel, right hand on the heart. Okay. I'll be speaking this on behalf of all of us. You all just be silent. And yeah, if you like, you can silently just, kind of repeat or just be with it. Yeah. So dear divine, dear the source and creator of everyone and everything, we love you, we honor you, we deeply appreciate you. Dear all our spiritual fathers and mothers, saints, saint animals, holy beings of light, angels, archangels, all the light beings, those on duty, please come. Please bless this forgiveness session. We are so grateful. Dear the soul of all my relationships, and dear the soul of any specific relations you want to bring in. So say, dear the soul of my relationship with my grandchildren, for example, or my husband, my daughter, father, pet, etc., etc. Speak like that, bring them in. They'll all come here. The souls will come. Take a moment, call all the souls. Dear the souls of XYZ, please join us. Dear the souls of all those whom me and my ancestors have caused any kind of hurt, harm, pain, suffering across lifetimes, we deeply apologize. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. Calling all our ancestors and descendants at this time to join us in this forgiveness practice. Let us all forgive each other. Let us all have compassion and mercy towards each other. Let us know that we are all one. We are all one large universe and many, many more universes. And in that oneness, we are all in different phases of our soul journey. And when we forgive each other, we are not just helping the other person, we are freeing our own soul from blockages, all kinds of blockages. Soul blockages are the root cause of everything in our lives. So, dear, all the soul blockages that are currently present in my life, in my spiritual, physical, emotional, mental bodies, relationships, especially relationships which we are being working on today, you have the power to heal and transform yourself. Do a great job. Thank you. I forgive everyone and everything unconditionally. Please forgive me unconditionally. Let us be in love, peace, and harmony. Now, Dr. and Master Zhigang Shah has got a divine soul song of love, peace, and harmony from heaven, from divine himself. which is a healing song. And not only the song, he later was told by the divine to transmit or download a treasure in the form of a light ball, a rainbow light ball of love, peace, and harmony that we all have within us, inside us. So let us activate this rainbow light ball of love, peace, and harmony. And let us ask the love, peace, harmony song to bless each one of us here, all those souls whom we've called upon, and all souls who will watch this recording. Please sing with us. Together, let us uplift the frequency of our relationships. We are so grateful. I'm going to sing one line 2 times so that the second time you can sing at your end, being mute itself. I love my heart and soul. Let's sing. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. We're so grateful to have learned about this love, peace, harmony song. We're very grateful that in our consciousness, we know about this healing song that our soul, heart, mind, body already recognizes as we have this download within our bodies. Let us all together try to work with this song every single day. Just sing it or listen to it. It's freely available on YouTube. I will post the link. Just connect and say always, I love my heart and soul, which is self-healing. You give yourself love. You ground yourself. You love yourself. I love all humanity is about no discrimination, forgiving everyone and sending unconditional love. And join hearts and souls together is divine's task. That's what divine wants. So when we do this, when we sing this, we are serving. Remember, I think I told in my last session, the easy ways of service. This is the easiest and profound way of serving by singing the song. It's not a song by the mind. It's not a song by some human being. It's a song given by the divine to a master. And love, peace, and harmony words have such high frequency. And that is what we all need in our lives, isn't it? So I once again thank all souls who joined us, all those on Zoom here who did this practice with me, and all those souls whom we invoked. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. All souls, most respectfully, please return now. I'm so grateful. Thank you. How? Gently massage your hands, massage your eyes, and you can slowly open your eyes with a smile. See how you feel. So, this song creates soul healing miracles in itself. Just by singing the song, you can heal so much in life because it's a song given by the divine directly. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanita.
Thank you, Vanita, for this wonderful session.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
I think we would love to stay in our silence after this. We'll meet you all tomorrow, same time. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Ashu.